Well, hello, computer nerds. What am I reading? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. First, I'm going to tell you about the first project. Now, the first project I wanted to do was to write a computer game. And, ever since I got a computer back in the 1980s, I just wanted to make a computer game. That's all I really wanted to do. I learned everything about computers because of that drive. Arcades were starting to show up. Pinball machines were getting replaced with video games. It was really a lot of fun, and I wanted to do that. But, time went on and I got a job and had to pay the bills, and now that I've grown up and learned everything, it's time to write a computer game. But guess what? Computer games aren't the same as they were back then. They require teams of people, 80 plus people that work for 2.5 years to develop the games. They have artists and designers, and they have 3D sculptors and set piece designers and backgrounds and levels and all sorts of people. And I'm just one guy. I'm not going to be able to make one of those kind of games. So I knew I'd have to scale it back. And so I thought back to all the games which I've played before, which I always wanted to redo, and that's what this magazine is all about. This is an Atari analog magazine. When we got computers back in the day, it was really hard to find information about them. And, you could go to user groups, but they were, not very helpful. You couldn't really, there wasn't anything on the TV. There was magazines in the computer stores. You have to go to the computer stores to find out anything about it. And one of the magazines was this analog magazine for the Atari system. And my friend and I spent lots of hours coding away on his Atari 400. Let's see if I got a picture of it. Can you see that? That is a keyboard from an Atari 400. And the keyboard is the most notorious thing about Atari 400s. It has no buttons to press. Those are touch-sensitive pads, and you knew that a key was pressed when the computer did a little bleep. They were awful keyboards, especially, if they got used for quite a bit and they would do double presses or it wouldn't really respond properly. Good thing they went away, but they're coming back in the form of tablets, touch screens. So it's coming back to haunt us. But fortunately, the new machines are much better. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to do a game based on an old game that I played. And in this magazine, you see there in the corner, Planetary Defense. Yes, this was a game which we got from this magazine. We were too cheap to buy the disc or cassette version of the subscription. So this magazine happened to have the game in it, little description, but it had the program printed in the back, right? This is actually a machine-coded game, but they had a basic program which you would type it in, it would have all the code for it, and then you'd run it and it would program the memory and launch the game, and you're off running. So it was really cool. Me and my friend would type on that keyboard this huge list of numbers. It took us a couple hours. We traded places and had to read things back just to make sure that we got the numbers right. But it was well worth it. So today we're going to brainstorm about what the next version of Planetary Defense should look like. And then we'll take it from there. First, Planetary Defense. It's kind of like Missile Command in a circle. You have your planet, you have a satellite going around it, and you shoot bombs that are coming in towards your planet. Here, let me show you a little gameplay, okay? And then we'll get back to brainstorming. All right, it's time to brainstorm for planetary defense. Okay, and all right, there's a picture of planetary defense. So in brainstorming, we just write down all sorts of ideas about what we like and what we don't like, and we get creative. We don't think about is that doable, or is that really going to work. We just put down all sorts of ideas, and some of those ideas may lead to other ideas. So we don't want to plan ourselves into a box. We want to be free to think outside the box, and maybe something will come from that. So this is planetary defense, the first one, and one of the first things that we know we need to do is we got to upgrade the graphics, because it's very low graphics. So that's just going to happen because we're going to be using new computers, and times have changed. The other thing that we need to do is we need to improve the controls. The original game had a joystick. It was one of those indestructible Atari joysticks, just a 4-direction, up, down, left, right, and a single button. And so what you did is you had to use the joystick to move the cursor around to where you wanted to shoot, and then press the button. And the cursor moved around really slow, and it made the game a little difficult. So, I kind of like the difficulty, but times have changed. The gamers these days, they really care about the controls. They want easy to use controls. So we can't do that joystick anymore. We're going to have to use a mouse. Mouse controls. All right. What else? So one of the things is I didn't like how the levels just sort of switched in the middle, from 1 to 2. It wasn't a very clear definition. So I kind of like how Missile Command did it. Here's a little screenshot of Missile Command. And, they had waves, and after each wave, they counted up how many missiles you had left over, and how many cities you had left over, and they gave you bonuses based on that, right? So, and then things got, progressively faster, and you got other enemies and stuff, and so I really like how that gameplay went. So I kind of want to emulate a lot of the stuff that happens with Missile Command. Okay, so some of the things I liked about Missile Command, which I think would benefit the planetary defense, is having distinct waves. So you could get bonuses based on how much ammo you have left. And maybe you can get a bonus of, how much of your planet's left. So, distinct waves. Now this game, one of the fun things about Planetary Defense was it was unlimited bullets, right? You could just shoot around and just blow things up, and that was kind of fun. But really, after the initial fun's over with, it kind of loses its talent. I thought I could do something like there's some games where you get points for shooting the enemies, but it costs 1 point to shoot a bullet, right? So it makes you want to try and conserve your bullets. But I think I'd rather just have a set amount of ammo for each wave, and then you get rewarded for being smart about, blowing up bombs together with a single shot. So I think I'm going to limit ammo. And so I think those things are like must do to make the game more enjoyable. So I think the other thing that would be cool, in Missile Command there's other levels, and you start seeing things like satellites and jet fighters and smart bombs and that sort of thing. So we should have multiple enemies. All right. So the kind of enemies that we definitely need to have is, first we need the bomb, and that's just essentially like a fish type shape, with some fins. They're very slow moving, and then as the levels progress, it'll get faster and faster. I think we can do like a heavy bomb, and that would just be a bit more beefier, has more armor, and I think the idea was it would have armor, so it wouldn't blow up by passing through an explosion. You'd have to hit it 3 times to get it to blow up. Hit 3 times. And immune to flak. I don't know if you can read my writing here. Okay. I was also thinking about, a smart bomb, and that would be a bomb that would have like little vision stuff, and it would avoid oncoming flak. So the idea is, if there's flak somewhere, and the bomb's heading towards it, it'll slow down and stop till the flag goes away, and then keep going. So you'd have to hit it directly, or you'd have to, get it from the flag from the sides, because it's only looking in the direction that it's traveling. Okay. Let's see. Planes really, I don't think would make much sense in space. There's satellites too, but we're the satellite. Satellite's a good guy, so let's not do that. What we should do is we could do like a saucer, like a Space Invaders kind of saucer. And essentially it would just fly to location. I don't know if it would drop a bomb or what, or maybe it can suicide into the planet. I'm not sure. Let's see. What else could we do? I think it'd be fun to like do an asteroids type of a callback where you'd have some rocks, and when you shoot the rock, you get 2 smaller rocks. And when you shoot those rocks, you get 2 tiny rocks. All right, and then those would just evaporate. I think that would be fun. But if we made it so that the bullets cause flak, right? The asteroid would just sort of like hit the flak and just immediately disappear. So I don't think that would work. So we'd have to make it immune to flak. Yeah, maybe we can make some other saucer types. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's good for the bad guys. Now let's think of some positive things we can do. Since our main reward is going to be ammo, I think we should have some plus ammo containers. So let's see. Let me just draw a line here. So let's say plus ammo. And I don't think it should be like something you shoot. What we could do is we could like have an ammo container come in with the enemies, but the whole idea is you don't want to shoot it, right? You want it to land on the planet, and then you get the ammo. So it makes it a little more, you got to pay attention, because you don't want to just shoot everything. You want to leave the ammo alone, so it'll land on the planet. Let's see what else. Well, I don't want to have like just money. I think I just want to stick with ammo and make the ammo the bonus. Yeah, we'll have to work out the scoring system for this, so it's all fairly fair. Maybe we can have plus planet, where it restores holes that are in the planet. Because as you can see, it's very easy to chunk holes in your planet. Let's see. Oh, also a shield would be nice. So cover planet with shield. All right. We can also have different kind of bullet types for that. Could have different bullet types. Right now, the bullets will will just go till they hit something, or they'll go off the screen, and then that'll be it. But maybe we could have some bullets that will leave mines. So leave a spot there, and if something travels into that spot, it'll set it off. Maybe we can do homing bullets. Maybe we could have a super laser, so it could sweep through part of the screen. That's pretty strong, though. Maybe we should have it like delay recharge for satellite. So if you use the super laser, you'll have to wait like 5 seconds for everything to recharge before you can use your bullets again. How would you get those bullets? Would they be rewards? Would you have to shoot them? I'm not sure. That's a tough question. Okay, I think this is enough for us to move on from brainstorming. I don't see anything that's really too outrageous, but it's important to pick the things that you got to do first. The whole idea is you want to get this up and running so you can play around with it, right? You want the basic functionality, and then you can improve on that as you go. So what do I need for basic functionality? Well, let's see here. What I need is another sheet of paper. All right, let's put this here. Okay, so what we need to start with is the planet and the satellite, and we need the cursor. The satellite needs to move around the planet. The cursor needs to move by the mouse. And we need to be able to shoot. So we need bullets. That's the satellite there. And the planet. Okay, once we get this going, we get the mouse moving and we get the bullets moving, then we can start adding some of the enemies and just go step by step and start improving it. So this is what we're going to do. And that's going to be the next video. The starting of Planetary Defense, version 2. All right. Thank you much, guys.